Yo, what's up, nigga? Today I'm just gonna be doing a little showcase, little review on the mage wind build specifically. There is a more physical, up close, throw hands, Juju Kaisen, beat a nigga ass wind build, but this is more of the mage build. So this is for the niggas who don't want to get up in the box and start squaring up with 8 NPCs at a time, but. I do honestly think that this build is currently the best build in the game. It is a bit sad to say that all the other builds don't stack up to it and that most people are going to be using this build if they actually want to get far, but it is truthfully the most broken, brain dead build in the entire game of Absolvement. And the ner and
And we need to hear that we are still loved and that everything is going to be okay eventually.
and the devs need to nerf it. I say this out of love for the game. The devs actually need to nerf this because using updraft and then hitting 8 enemies into the air just to hit updraft again is absolutely broken. And when you have so many stats into wind, you can just spam it and get 100 damage per tick. And don't even get started on the other moves, the criticals. It's broken. It's quite literally broken. This wind build is, I think, the most highly used build in the entire game, and I'm not even joking. I have a few clips where it's just multiple people using the exact same build, doing the exact same thing. So this build is like reputable as the definite best, but there are still many other options. But I'm just gonna go into the reviewing for this one specifically for now. So overall, well, you guys probably already can tell from what I've been saying, but this class, yes, is definitely the best for boss rating, whatever you want to call it, dungeon bosses, just solo farming with a team, DPS, stunning, crowd control, everything that you can imagine. This class literally just outclasses every other class. I think the only downside to this class may be the lack of stun. The updraft move does give stun and a few others do give stun, but if you compare it to lightning or maybe ice, you won't get as much, but like still, you're still getting DPS substantially over, so it kind of outrates it a lot. And there's also a lot of good moves for the skill tree. A lot of other skill trees kind of give moves that are kind of useless, like if we go into shadow, you're getting mana, which is not horrible, but it's not really something that you need. But this one just gives more critical chance, walk speed, like it's overall just great. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys quickly just like how much damage it does. And I am still only level 16. I haven't really maxed out this build, but this is how much we're talking. And the fact that most of these moves can hit multiple targets at a time, like I'm not 100% sure as I haven't used it yet, but I'm pretty sure if I put Wind Draft right here, it's hitting easily these 3 opponents. But and also, mind you, I have the move Vortex. Vortex is such a great move, but the only problem with the testing dummies is that it goes right through it. But even then, like you see, it just hits the corner of the wall, and then it does like 20 damn near damage, which is just crazy to me. So mind you, if you're going up against a mob like one of the bloody masses or one of those ice mobs that can't dodge, they'll just be stuck in that tornado taking up to 100 damage off of one move, which is just crazy to me. But yeah, also mind you, I still don't have the legendary weapon. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I do not have it yet. I don't have the crit, so this account completely is a max. This is a level 16 account with 69 stats into wind, and it's gonna still do crazy damage. Especially slicing winds. Slicing winds is a great move. Oh, they're all going to this guy, but see, 140 damage, and I literally used 2 moves. My mana is at damn near max still, which is just it's honestly just it's quite literally broken. It's quite literally insane. Um, if I can manage to get the vortex, the updraft, and wind blast, yeah, I also have wind blast as well. But wind blast is kind of like one of those combat PvP ones, especially for a mage build. It's not something you want to be using, actually in a battle, because you want to be all the way back here. Maybe drop a wind draft, back up, just throw some of these out, and then do 100 damage while scratching your ball sack, right? That's like, see, it's hitting this guy over here, which is insane. And also, one of the stats for the upgrade makes me do more like Literally, you see that 105 damage, and I target. The only thing I hit this dummy right here with was the wind draft or the updraft. So that just goes to show you how crazy this is. I'm gonna try my best to explain the stats that I put in as well, because I'm not exactly sure what they do all like 100%. I know that if you manage to dodge a monster, you actually leave a little bit of damage upon them. So this one increases attack speed and attack range, this is amazing. Well, first of all, if you're using updraft, obviously your range is you need long range, because usually when you're battling a lot of NPCs, your teammates are gonna split up. They're gonna run around, they're gonna dodge all that. If you have this, your updraft just gets everything. Dealing wind damage 3 times within 5 seconds, reduce mana cost by 8% for 7 seconds. That's also great because with wind, obviously you're not going to just use one move. You use your updraft, you use your vortex, and, etc., etc. Critical hits with wind attacks create a small wind slash, dealing 8 bonus damage. Oh yeah, you guys literally just saw that on the training dummy on the last hit. It was a critical attack. That's why I did that big bang. That's pretty nice as well. Dodging an attack briefly increases wind damage by 15% and movement speed. Just decent. Wind attacks have a 15% chance to deal 10% bonus damage if the enemy. This one's kind of mediocre, but like at the end of the day, I feel like most of the stats on this kind of have at least 1, 2, or 3 just kind of ass stats. But also, I did go into Storm Dancer. I did before I started all this. I read between the two, and I'm not really sure what the good like side of Sharp Currents is. I feel like Sharp Currents does help you live a little bit more. Like with this move, you have a 15% chance to stun them, and then another move over here, you can knock them back. So I feel like Sharp Currents could help you hypothetically if you're getting jumped. But if you really don't want to be in a situation where you're getting jumped to begin with, Storm Dancer is just better. But yeah, I'll just go through it quickly. I'm not gonna go through Storm Dancer or Sharp Currents, I mean, because it's literally just ass, my nigga. I'm telling y'all the truth. If you're actually listening to this, thinking about what to go in, Sharp Currents is just buns. It's literal dog ass. But landing with attack slightly boosts your movement speed. This is just good overall. You always want to be fast in this game, otherwise you're slow, can't dash, just getting mogged. Dodging an enemy attack leaves behind a slight. Yep, this one's also really good. This one, you don't. Well, I mean, you notice it quite often, but I won't say it's significant. Obviously, it's good if you're dealing, well, if you also have a percentage boost like me, 50%, I'm dealing like 8 damage per dodge that I do. So that's not horrible, but it's not really, something significant. After successfully dodging attack, your next, yep, this one's also really good, especially if you're using a close combat win build. You could really like do something crazy with this. I'm not entirely sure because all I do with this build is spam updraft and it works. So I don't really have to focus too much on this. Obviously my updraft's gonna do a critical, but that's just gonna do maybe 5 damage instead of 2. So it's not too crazy. While sprinting for 3 seconds after you stop, wind attacks deal 15% more damage. This also is another one that you just kind of have. I feel like this is not one that you actively seek for. It kind of just happens while you're playing the game. But yeah, you deal 50 more percent damage if you've been running for 3 seconds. And this one is this is the crux of the cookie. If we look at these ones too, like the final moves for Sharp Currents, we have wind attacks now reduce enemy healing and a regeneration. Honestly, if you're going up against an NPC, maybe when they add PvP, this could be something useful. But for now, when you're going up against NPCs, no NPC is healing, bro. So this is just entirely useless. Crushing Gale's stun direction. Oh, yeah. Wind attacks. Where is, yeah, Crushing Gale. When attacks have a 50% chance to knock enemies back and stun them for 0.5 seconds. So you have a 15% chance to just stun them. And then this one just makes the knockdown for zero point 0.5 to 0.75. So it's literally just, hey, give us 4 more stat points and we'll give you a cookie. That's pretty much what it is. It's quite bad. But Storm Dancer of the Storm is amazing. When landing a critical with wind attacks, generate a tornado around yourself. You guys saw that when I was going to get to dummies. That's the thing that was hitting him while you finished using all my moves, which increases walk speed by 5% and slashes enemies in striking distance for 2 damage every zero point 0.5. This is a big thing for you, for me at least. 0.5 every zero point 0.5 seconds is crazy because you're doing 4 damage per second, and this can stack. I'm not well. You'll have to get really lucky, but if you manage to hit 3 criticals, think about it this way: you're doing 12 damage every second just for doing damage. just for getting lucky and doing damage, you have an extra 12 damage. And this is just not counting the fact that you don't have any stat points put into your wind. So this is also really crazy. And it increases your walk speed by 5 and decreasing the damage. I'm not exactly sure what this means here. Maybe it decreases the damage from 0.5 to zero point 0.4. Or maybe it decreases the time from 10 seconds to 9.9. I'm not sure exactly what that means. But just overall, it's entirely broken. It's just completely broken. I would love to show you guys what this build is like once I get the weapon, but if I'm being honest, it's gonna take a long time. Like when you're playing this game, it's completely luck based. So for me to get lucky enough to either pull it in a roll or just find a power, and even then, even if I do find a power, just to get it in one of the four, it's still gonna be extremely lucky. So I'm not gonna be able to do that, but I still can show these moves. And updraft, slicing winds. Oh yeah, if you are going to start with this build, I highly recommend that you start with updraft. Updraft is a crazy starter move, and you guys just saw that. That was two moves. I only used two moves and maybe 30 mana at most, and it did 190 damage. So imagine if you have, let's say you grab a whole room, difficulty 15 about. You have around 8, 9 of these NPCs chasing you, and also it's unparryable. So you have 9 NPCs forced to take 200 damage. When you're going up against something like Blood, obviously Lightning has the same capabilities where they can't parry it for the most part. But if you're going with something like Blood or Physical, your enemies are literally just going to parry every single one of your moves. So even though Blood DPS might actually be higher than Wind, the fact that Wind has a completely undodgeable, unblockable moveset just makes it incredibly broken. Yeah, I'm gonna show a little bit of clips of what it's like. Most of these clips are just gonna be NPCs because obviously it's not the best for soloing bosses, but it still can do the job. But I wouldn't say it's the best. I would still say Bleed overall is better for soloing bosses, but if you're going into a dungeon and you actually want to get on the leaderboard, or you just, you're enjoying the game, you want to go in a bomb build, get high level and wipe, this is 100% the way to go. You just go updraft and just get lucky. I promise you'll get to max level or at least level 20 soon enough.